So the transmission's cracked. Yep. I don't know if that crack was always there. I mean, I know that the front casting on the transfer case was cracked, and as soon as I sandblasted it, it became quite apparent. But I don't know if that transmission was also cracked the whole time, and I just didn't see it, and maybe the crack was filled with dirt and mud and that was stopping it from going everywhere. I don't know. Or maybe I did it when I had to put it in there solo and it got bumped around a little bit. Don't know. Is it the end of the project? No. Is it a big disappointment? Yeah, to be honest. But this is okay, I guess. At this point, I'm pretty proficient in rebuilding T90s, so all I gotta do is come up with a T90 case that's good. I have all the parts, you know, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal to swap the internals over eventually. I mean, and here's the thing. Where the leak is at, and at the amount it's leaking, it weeped a bit overnight, you know. Not that big of a deal. Old Jeeps leak. This one shouldn't have leaked because I just rebuilt it and sealed it, and I went to great lengths to make sure it wouldn't leak. And it wouldn't have leaked if that crack hadn't been there. But I think I'm gonna just press forward for now. I'm gonna put some cardboard under it and, you know, soak it all up, and periodically I'll just add some more oil to the transmission. But in the long term, I will have to go find another T90, and it just so happens I might know a guy. Either way, it's not the end. It just gives me more stuff to do on the Jeep. So yeah, the whole transmission thing is gonna be a bummer. I'll figure it out. The puddle under there is growing, but what can you expect? But there's still a lot to do. I can put some stuff back together and still run the list. I need to retorque head bolts, do a couple of gauge things. Fuel is pretty much done. I just need to seal the gasket. Spare tires here. Seats and seat belts, you know. Bleed the brakes one more time and then a final adjustment. We're almost there. And I think, you know, we can start up and maybe do a little bit of driving with that leak. So let's push forward. I think I'll put the fenders back on because at this state, there's really no reason to keep them off. The only problem is that I've got 3 bags of bolts, maybe 4. I don't remember how this went, so let me figure that out and get some fenders back on it. There we go. That's starting to look right again. Let's not look too closely at the front. I got something I think I'll wait for the very end. But yeah, that looks good. Well, it was a heck of a lot of fun trying to find where the heck the nuts were for this radiator. But I got them and they're in. Basically, we're getting pretty close. I need to fill the radiator with some coolant, hook the battery back up, and then pretty much from there we can start cranking. Oh, no we cannot, because I need to retorque all the head studs. So let me get set up for that real quick. I really can't overstate how awesome it is to have a work table here with the fenders back on. Now, I can just set the GoPro magnetically onto the fender and it stays put. Alright, so according to the manual, for cylinder head screws it is 65 to 75, and for stud nuts it is 60 to 65. I mean, I guess it's time for the shift cover to go back on, so, okay. My opinion on this handle has changed. Like day one when I started working on this, there were two things I did. I put duct tape on the original seat because it was bad. And I took this handle off because I thought this thing was one of those annoying gaudy aftermarket things. But now I understand, man, this thing is structural, it is functional, and it is important. So it's staying. Retorque head bolts. It's actually on here twice. Fuel gauge. Fuel cylinder gasket. Oh, finally some rain. We needed some rain. Now I've got more Jeeps doing Jeep stuff. That one's the oil pan, but somewhere in here it's also the master cylinder. I've got a brake line that's just not 100%. And what it is this one right here that goes from the front soft line to the master cylinder. That was the first one that I made. So of course, with it being the first one I made, there were mistakes. Yeah. There were mistakes made, and I gotta remake it. Okay, now this is just odd. It's not from the drain bolt. It's coming from the pan somewhere. That's not a good sign. Well, shoot, it's worse than I thought. I got both lines here at the master cylinder leaking. I would have sworn that one to the rear was fine. Great. Alright, camera's in the danger zone. We're gonna see how bad this leaks. See, that's the thing. I can tighten them down. I can press on them. And they don't appear to drip like crazy everywhere. But I can leave it overnight, over the weekend, and it'll just seep out. But I wiped it down, I put some pressure on it, and there's nothing. What gives? Well, it's been a minute since I've mounted a tire. Last time, of course, was on all four of those, but see if I remember how to do this. All right. There, now I'll double check on this side. Make sure I don't have the tube pinched in the bead. Looks fine. That's right at 30. Oh, I guess I didn't really record that, did I? But I have the turn signals hooked back up, and they work. All right. Spare tire's looking like it should. Except not really, because it's supposed to be hereabouts. And I still can't figure out why a previous owner put a patch panel here. Because when you look at the backside, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no torn sheet metal or anything. So I think I'll drill out the holes and put it here on the back where it should be eventually. At the very least though, I have the back of this thing looking a lot less like a trash can. Just done some creative shuffling of the junk. I need these. But the point of all this was to get it downhill just slightly so I can go drain the transmission and begin that repair work. Let's do some surface prep. All right, bare metal, paint removed, repeatedly degreased, but can never be too clean when it comes to JB Weld. Surface is all kinds of roughed up. My wonderful semi-gloss is now a matte, seeing as though this does have paint removing properties. With any luck, that'll be good enough. Alright, epoxy wheel thing. Now we wait 24 hours and refill. Well, for reference, this is what it sounds like when you've pinched your tube somewhere and popped it. I went to check the thing and it had no pressure. And all it does is hiss. So, dang it. That might not have been a good tube to begin with. It had been sitting around for a long time from the trailer project. That was the spare tube for the trailer. And while I was at it, shift is greased. Guys, there are a lot of grease zerks on a CJ2A. Like, a lot. So I got like 6 of them done, but that's not enough to call this done. I started the air cleaner. It is bad. The back of it was really well clogged, like 50% of it was just clogged. So I'll just let it soak overnight and come back to it tomorrow. Well, it's probably 30 hours later. Got the cover back on, it's refilled with oil. And now we get to wait and see how much leakage we get. There's the master cylinder leaking some more. But it's a waiting game at this point. Well, it is Halloween night. And instead of trick-or-treating, because I'm a little bit old for that, I've installed the voltmeter. And it even works. And we're looking at about 12.5, 13 volts. Guess that battery charger did its thing. Cool. I needed something to lay on, so my to-do list ended up getting drafted for that. Voltage. Done. So we're running out of to-dos. This is awesome. It's really getting time to put some seat belts on it, get the seats bolted down, and go. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. 3 attempts and it should actually be mostly patched now. So it's been a couple of days. The very first JB Weld attempt failed. It covered up about maybe 50% of the crack, but it's still seeped. So I cleaned it up, degreased it, and put another layer on. It's still leaking. So I cleaned it up again and put another layer on. And now it's just down to a very, very, very small seep. And I think it's up at the very top behind the mounting tab. And I thought I'd gotten that well enough before, but it's possible that crack extends further than I thought. So it's at least way better than it was. I'm still gonna have to replace the transmission case. So then we get to brakes. I'm so tired of brakes. I don't want to make more brake lines. So I did what any sensible person would do and just ordered a couple of pre-formed ones. Some of you who have been through this before know what's going on. So the front one, there's no way it could possibly ever fit a CJ2A. The bend up that goes to the master cylinder is about 2.5 or 3 inches behind where it's supposed to be, and there's no way you can finagle the extra line to make it fit. Not in a good, safe way, I guess. So that one's out. And then we get to this piece of junk. You know, when I saw the box on the doorstep, I was super happy because I didn't have to deal with brakes again. Then I get that front line disappointment, but then I try to get the back line to at least work, and I get this. I don't know how well the GoPro is gonna pick that up. This is a good side. This is not a good side. So it's like this thing got dragged against some metal and it removed all the threads on this side and on the flare. So there's no way this will ever be any kind of brake line. So I get to make another one of these. Not using that one as a template because this one at least lined up. The fitting on the back wasn't leaking. I did good there. But I still can't figure out what I did wrong on the front fitting to make it leak in the way it did. But all I can do is I'm not gonna order another one. I'm just gonna make it. That might be long enough. Well, that took longer than I cared to admit. Let's go see if I'm still any good at making brake lines. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be driving that thing to go vote. I went to put in the new lines that I just made. They still leak. And there's a bunch of air in the line, but I was doing a couple of presses on that pedal, and I started leaking brake fluid out the back of the master cylinder. It's not supposed to leak out the back of the master cylinder. The front, yeah. If I had messed up those copper crush washers, or the flares that are apparently just not right, yeah, it would have leaked. But out the back, no, that's a bad master cylinder. It's been sitting in here kind of idle for a year, so I guess moisture got in and it rusted the bore, and a couple of those presses just ripped the boot on the little seal thing, whatever. So yeah, oof. But that's not the end. I'm definitely disappointed, but there's other things I can do. I was gonna save this for that first drive out of the driveway, but let me show you guys what I ended up doing for the front end. This is what I did for the front. You know how everyone's always putting those angry grills on their Jeeps? Well, this is my answer to that. Grandpa Jeep is tired of this bullshit. And yeah, I moved the flashers. I never really liked that bumper mount. Kind of like that better. You just end up with quad parking lights. But meh. Well, this isn't how I wanted this one to end, but here we are. At least I'm sitting in the driver's seat, which is bolted down. It's a little tight, but I knew that going in. So the master cylinder's toast. I've got another one on order. I know you can get a little hone and you can hone it out and rebuild them. I don't want to quite roll the dice on that one just yet. I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna inspect it before I put it in, and I'll try that one. And I'll see if I have any better luck with that one. I even have a new fitting for that banjo bolt, so we'll see if it's a fitting problem, which it seems like it might be. No one is that bad at making flared brake fittings. It's gotta be that brass fitting. Has to be, right? If you made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. If you would, leave me a like down below, leave me a comment, even if you're just saying hello. And if you're not subscribed, but the YouTube algorithm sent you my way, why not subscribe? It's free. And pretty soon you might actually see me drive this rust bucket. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys on the next one, where hopefully I'll have better news.